Most of us grow up hearing a single origin story of this continent, one simplified narrative, one starting point. But indigenous nations across Turtle Island have held thousands of origin stories, stories that don't just explain how the world began, but how to live inside it. And today, we're not going to treat Native American creation stories like one big blended myth. We're doing the opposite. We're going tribe by tribe, honoring difference, because these are not interchangeable stories. This documentary is a respectful introduction, high-level retellings from public sources. We won't reenact ceremonies, we won't claim secret knowledge. We'll focus on what these stories teach: responsibility, balance, relationship to land and community. 5 tribes, 5 different worlds, and we begin above the water, in Sky World. In the Oneida telling, long before humans lived on Earth, there was darkness, water below, and above it, Sky World, a realm of spirits and powerful beings. Among them is Sky Woman, pregnant, living with her family in that upper world. Then something happens: curiosity, movement, a moment near a sacred tree, and Sky Woman falls through the sky. Below, the birds see her. They don't watch her fall. They rise. They carry her. But there's nowhere to place her, only water, until a sea turtle offers his back. And then the animals take on a task that becomes the heart of the story. They try to bring up soil from beneath the water. After many attempts, the muskrat dives, bravely, desperately, and returns with a handful of earth. Sky Woman uses that earth to form Turtle Island. Here, creation isn't an act of conquest, it's an act of relationship. Birds, turtle, muskrat, Sky Woman, each one essential. Oneida.on.ca. Now, we travel to the southwest, where, in a public educational retelling of the Diné creation journey, the beginning isn't a single moment. It's a migration through worlds, a story of emergence, moral order, and consequence. In this version, the first world is dark, black. Beings are present: first man, first woman, coyote, and a powerful creator figure named Begachiti, who begins shaping mountains and plants. But something isn't right. Conflict rises, jealousy appears, and the story introduces a recurring idea: when imbalance grows, the people must move. A big reed becomes a path upward, carrying beings and created things from one world into another. The worlds are described with colors: black, then blue, then yellow, each with its own challenges and lessons. Lessons of Our Land, PDF. In this public retelling, the journey continues. Storms gather, a flood approaches, and the people are forced again toward emergence. The story doesn't frame this as random disaster. It frames it as consequence, as warning, as a call to return to a right way of living. And the presence of Coyote matters, not as a cartoon villain, but as a force of impulse and curiosity, a reminder that chaos often begins with something small: a choice, a boundary crossed, a secret held. The power of this tradition, told at a respectful distance, lies in how it treats creation as something you must maintain, not something you simply inherit. Lessons of Our Land, PDF. For many Native peoples, origin isn't a descent from the heavens, it's an emergence from the earth. And in the PBS public summary of a Hopi origin teaching, after emergence, the people meet the caretaker of the earth. They are instructed to honor Mother Earth by taking care of her, and they're told to walk to the farthest corners of the world, to learn the earth with their feet, and to find their center place. Creation here is not ownership, it is stewardship. It is a life lived in responsibility to the world that holds you. PBS. Center Place isn't just a location. It's an ethic. Where do you stand? How do you live? What do you protect? And that instruction, walk the corners, learn the earth with your feet, treats knowledge as something you earn through relationship to land, not something you collect like a trophy. There are longer written collections of Hopi traditions in older publications, including Emergence traditions and the term sipapu in some accounts, materials that exist publicly but still deserve careful, respectful handling. Internet Archive, PDF. So we keep our focus on the public teaching, care for the earth, walk with humility, and seek a center built on responsibility. PBS. Now we move to the southeast, to a Cherokee creation excerpt reproduced in a public reader. It begins with a striking image, the earth as a great island floating in a sea of water. When all is water, the animals seek ground. A small being, described as a water beetle, dives and brings up soft mud. And that mud begins to spread until it becomes the island we call Earth. But then comes one of the most unforgettable images in this tradition, the great buzzard flying low while the earth is still soft. Where his wings brush the ground, valleys form. Where his wings lift, mountains rise. And when the animals fear the world will become nothing but mountains, they call him back, but the Cherokee country remains mountainous to this day. American Yawp. In that same excerpt, the story also speaks of another world beneath this one, and of springs and streams as pathways, doorways, images of layered reality. We won't dramatize this into fantasy. The documentary point is simpler. Many indigenous nations describe a world that is not one flat plane, but a layered living system, and each nation's meaning is distinct. American Yawp. Which brings us back to our theme, 5 tribes, 5 worlds, no shortcuts. Now we turn toward the Great Lakes, to a public transcript retelling of an Anishinaabe creation teaching. In this version, conflict arises among people, harmony breaks, and a great flood purifies the earth. Afterward, only a few beings remain, Nanabush and some animals and birds, searching for land that can support life again. One by one, animals dive into the deep water to retrieve earth. One by one, they fail. And then the muskrat tries, small, underestimated, and returns weak, nearly gone, but with a tiny ball of earth in its paw. The muskrat's sacrifice makes renewal possible. Then the turtle offers its back, and the land begins to grow, until a new world forms again. University of Toronto exhibits. Here's an essential clarification. Turtle Island is used by many indigenous peoples as a name for North America, especially among Algonquian and Iroquoian-speaking communities, but the stories connected to it vary across nations and regions. Some versions begin with Sky World and Sky Woman. Others begin with flood and renewal, with animals diving for earth. And even when a turtle appears in multiple traditions, it doesn't mean the story is the same. A major public reference on Turtle Island emphasizes these variations and warns that brief examples never represent all versions. The Canadian Encyclopedia. So we don't blend, we label, we credit, we keep differences intact. Let's compare, carefully, without flattening. For Oneida, the world begins in Sky World, and creation is born from community and reciprocity. Birds, turnal, muskrat, sky woman. Oneida, www.on.ca. For Diné, creation is a journey through worlds, a cycle of emergence shaped by moral responsibility and consequence. Lessons of Our Land, PDF. For Hopi, origin is emergence, guided by the caretaker's instruction. Honor the earth, walk the world, find your center place. PBS. For Cherokee, land is shaped in motion, mud becoming earth, and the buzzard's wings carving valleys and mountains. American Yop. For Anishinaabe, renewal comes through humility and sacrifice, the muskrat's gift and the turtle's back becoming the foundation of life again. University of Toronto exhibits. 5 tribes, 5 different worlds. We dismiss creation stories as just myths, we miss what they really do. They teach a relationship to land, to animals, to community, to restraint, and to the responsibilities that come with being human. This was only a beginning, 5 introductions told carefully. If you want the next episode to go deeper, one nation at a time, with more language notes and more tribe-specific context, tell me which one you want next. Oneida, Haudenosaunee, Diné, Hopi, Cherokee, or Anishinaabe. Subscribe for more documentaries that keep the stories specific, credited, and respectful. Because this continent was never one origin, it has always been plural.